Hey y'all. So let's talk about electric fence or electric wire, perimeter fencing that's electrified, things that shoot electricity through them to stop things from getting through to the other side. Let's talk about it, right? So I have mentioned that we have a new puppy, and I say puppy lightly. Because when you think puppy, you think, oh, little bitty cuddly, yay, baby. But this guy is not such a baby. Rescued him from the pound. I think I've talked about him before. I might not. I thought I did. His name's Rune. He's a golden lab. He's a good boy. But we're training him because we have chickens. And Oak, though, is our livestock guardian dog. He hasn't done the greatest job at stopping his brothers from messing with the chickens. So this is the little backyard. That's the man porch. And obviously the chickens are back there. Well, this guy and Reggie, which is Zoe's dog, he's also rescued a little pit bull mix. He's a great little dog too. But like to go back there. Rune here is a bird dog. They definitely spent some time with him before either sending him to the pound or what. He's only a year old. I don't know what happened, but now he's mine. So he is very attracted to going after birds. That's in their nature. He's a Labrador retriever. A lot of people hunt with him. Bad thing is he wants to chase the birds. Birds get into this backyard, and I try my hardest to stop that, but the biggest issue is him getting back there. So brings me to the whole purpose of what I'm talking about. Running electrified wire around the perimeter of the yard to stop him from digging under or at the gate. You can see those yellow things are these wood post insulators and T-post insulators. I also have these nifty diffy things already ran. These are tighteners for line tighteners to tighten up the wire. So I have already done it. I have already ran it all the way around, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Not necessarily actually show you how I did it, but I'm going to walk you around and show you what it looks like. So here's the main gate that we walk in and out of. It goes to the man porch. I did not run anything under here yet because we literally come in and out on both sides. I'm going to have to figure that part out eventually. They don't mess too much right here. I do have a collar on him in which I'm training him as well. It is a shock collar, but I usually don't shock him unless I absolutely have to, like he's not listening. This is Jugbo. You can get them on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description. It works really nice. It beeps, and that's usually what I do when he gets close to the fence. Like right now, he just backed up, and then I'll buzz him. I'm not gonna buzz him right now because there's really no point. It just vibrates. The only time I use shock is if he's running towards the birds and not listening to me, or if I catch him at the fence. I want him to know that that fence hurts. So, not worried about main fence right this second. So I started right here. The fence is off. You know what? Let's start there. Here's my Energizer. It's from Premier 1, the IntelliShock 60 solar, so it will charge. This is a temporary spot for it. This is my fence tester to make sure that there's power going through it. It's off right now. That's what I was getting at, was make sure it's off before you touch the fence. Obviously, if you're gonna be running the fence, you're not gonna have it attached. But since I was about to touch it and show you, safety first. It ain't gonna kill you, but it'll hurt. It's obviously, it's got a ground. You run your black wire to the ground. You run your red wire to the fence. He's just a good boy. He's just a good boy. He just doesn't listen good. All right, that's enough. So we'll start here with a fence post insulator, an inline tightener. So the way I did that, started here, tighten it around, wrap the wire around itself, like that, so it'll be nice and tight. Went ahead and put this on the line. That way, I just ran the rest of the line down, and then once I get to the end, tighten this piece down. So again, post, T-post, T-post, wooden post at my fence at the corner of where I wanted to stop. So right here is a little different. So what I did when I got here, I wrapped it around, still same wire, wrapped it around here, then attached it to this piece at this gate. This gate obviously goes to the birds. You can see down here, he started messing with it. We obviously got some wood and some block here and a hole. That's an old hole. He didn't do that. So right here, if we want to go out, you undo it. Obviously that stops the connection all the way around the rest of the fence, but allows you to go through the gate. Then you just hook it back. We don't go in and out of this gate super often, but that will help. Another thing you can do, I didn't do it today because I wanted to get something up quick, is I'll show you exactly what you could use. Okay, the sky is gonna darken me up, isn't it? We got this, y'all. We're gonna get this figured out one day. One day we'll be a real YouTuber. Here we go. Just gotta bend down. It's okay. Focus. Stand by. We're back. You have insulator, which is basically just plastic tubing, or you have underground cable, galvanized, double insulated, heavy duty, which, let me see if I can find the end of it. It's got wire already ran through it. This is good for fences, for your gates, because what you can do, you take that coated wire, you attach it to here, and you run it underground back up to that wire. That way, whenever you do remove this, there's still power going to the rest of your fence. So that's what that's for. Like I said, didn't do it this right now. I will later, but I just need something quick. Again, T-post inline tightener. I have not tightened it down yet, so I'll show you how it works. You can see right now it's free flowing. Free. Okay. And then you just tighten it. You don't want to tighten it too much, just enough where you don't have much slack along your line. Do it probably 3 clicks. That's actually pretty good. Another T-post, and then we'll run down. Ken, length of the fence. I'm not going to point out every single T-post and wood post because you can clearly see it. So then I got down here, because it runs down further. You can see we're a little loose. This is obviously where he has been digging. I have another inline tightener that I don't have to tighten as much, but just like that. Now we have a better tighter line. I will have to come along, trim up all this stuff touching the line. All right, once we get to the corner, one thing I did, you gotta remember these are just plastic. So because I'm tightening down the wire, I took it and wrapped it around each tooth before I came back up. I also kind of ran out of some wire and had to splice it, which is fine. It's gonna work just fine. Then we move up. I put this tightener roughly halfway between the corner piece. Again, remember these are just plastic pieces, so you want to, it doesn't have to be super tight. I mean, they're not going to be putting that much pressure on it, especially whenever it's on. They're not going to be sitting there gnawing on it because it's going to be electrified. And again, ran more. This fence they've never really messed with, mainly because when they jump up, this has hurt them before. Not like bad, it just pokes them. I don't necessarily like it, but it's the only fence I had, only gate I had. So I've got a piece down there in case we need to go down to the basement or go out to the backyard, whatever. Don't mind that chair, it's going into the trash. So once you've gotten your line tight, you're going to want to go around. You can either use a weed eater. I'm going to use these fancy dancy clippers, which are my wife's, but my wife's, well, that is right, my wife's. but I use them. You're gonna go around the edge of your line that you just ran. You can use a weed eater; it'll work too. But I would prefer not to hit my line right now, so I can test it, make sure it's working. Later, I'll use a weed eater once the grass starts growing up. Right now, I'm really gonna cut up some of these like heavier like stick twig things just along the fence. Make sure we're not getting any excess grounding that we don't want. Kind of trim some of those up like that, because they'll end up growing, obviously. So yeah, and then obviously I can cut the grass with the weed eater, but I'll do that. Make sure everything's cut off the line. So I'll do this, and then I'll catch y'all in just a second. We'll cut it on and we'll test it with the tester. Testers are really easy to use. I'll show you exactly how to use it too. What you're gonna do, turn your Energizer on. Clicking, clanking, and get your tester. Alright, so how this tester works is it has this ground. Obviously you put it in the ground. It's got these two little tabs. You touch the wire, and it tells you what you're running, 11.5. It's gonna be higher up there because that's where the Energizer is. But 9 down here. Put in the ground. 9 down here. Last spot. Put it in the ground. 5 down here, which is fine because it's at the end of the line. It is not a closed circuit. I did not go all the way around, so you don't have to. There's probably still some spot I can trim up on this. He's about to probably find out how it feels. Yep, that's it. Just scared him. It really didn't hurt him. But now he knows that there's electricity down here. I hear something popping up here. Right there. Here's some something's touching right here. I can hear it. So I'll clear up that. You just gotta be aware of this big fence. Make sure it's not touching, your wire as well, because it'll just ground it out. Obviously it works fine. I'm not trying to hurt him. It's all, like I said, it just scares him, but I don't want him going back there. So he will learn to be away from it. You've seen it done with pigs. You've seen it done with all kinds of animals. It is not meant to punish or hurt. It's merely meant, sorry, I'm trying to set y'all up. It's merely meant to teach, because let me tell you what, you've touched a hot pot before, right? And you kind of learn not to touch a hot pot. That's essentially what it's doing as well. And it's obviously doing well. So, I'm pleased. Hopefully that'll keep him out. Him and Reggie, honestly, because Reggie's going to have to learn as well. Appreciate y'all hanging out.